and making her NSN Tonight hosting debut, it is Nikki Pica.
Nevada Sportsnet's Nikki Pica.
Hey, Nevada Sportsnet's Nikki Pica.
Greens and Nikki, what does the leaderboard look like today?
Why doesn't any of the northern teams get the opportunity to play in the open bracket? All the coaches, they did not want to be a part of it. So that technically will eliminate the threat of Bishop Gorman.
But I do want to note that Gerard, out of the 8 rounds that he's played, he eagled twice. Bobby Dolan Dinner is an event that has shaped Nevada baseball for 40 years, and this time was no different.
The beginning of a new season for a manager means finding what works best. And finding what works best also means catering to the fans. And the fans got a special surprise on April 7th. I'm Nikki, he's Mike. The 5A2 semifinals are set. Now, time to take a look at the 5A3.
Nikki is quietly the funniest person on the team, and so we're excited to show you some of that throughout the next hour. I think so.
Yeah, Alex, I mean, it's not unusual to see former Nevada athletes stick around town, helping out with the high schoolers, but to have 3 former athletes lead a team, now that's pretty unique. Welcome back to Exploring Our Backyard. We are in the streets of Virginia City, this downtown area. This is where so much history has happened, and it's right in our backyard. So let's go take a look at this mining town.
The 39th annual Bobby Dolan Dinner was flooded with supporters, all who came out to help fundraise for the PAX baseball program, as well as get a glimpse at guest speaker and 2-time World Series champion Hunter Pence.
Hoping to actually get on the field, and if there's a lightsaber fight, I would love to be part of it. I also
Just
have
the
my
guy to know, right?
I know,
Nudge,
right?
right?
I'm like, yeah, just let me know when to be there.
It's a little bit more cutthroat this season. Just because you play in the division doesn't mean you get to play in playoffs. So, the top 4 teams, it's going to be creating a little bit more competition. So it'll be good.
They're kicking off the tournament 10 a.m. and they're taking on Colorado State in a loser-out contest, with the winner going on to the double elimination portion of the bracket.
On Thursday, the Wolfpack fell to Boise State after leading at half. Sophomore Audrey Roden produced 22 points for her team, making nearly 50% of her shots. Drake Hardcastle bobbles a snap, throws a dime to Ethan Hendy, who will not be denied. Hendy into the end zone as the Senators strike first.
Something that was noted is Geraldo Perdomo got a 4-year extension with the Diamondbacks, and that's the shortstop right now with the D-backs. But I think Lawler's biggest goal this season is just to have a healthy season and be able to show what talent he does have and why he is that #1 prospect.
Yeah, it was an amazing kind of couple of days when I did get to go interview them. You understand who Drew is as a person, and April had mentioned just how many similarities she sees between Drew and Mike, and she's like, it's kind of crazy. He'll never really understand how amazing of a guy Mike was, and that's the thing, is I can just see everything in Drew, a lot of his mannerisms, the way he is. He's always so open and friendly with people. He's just an amazing kid, and it's just like his father.
Where's your emergency?
My name's Lily Allen.
I don't know how to explain where I'm at.
I am a senior and I go to Pershing County High. I had a feeling that something bad was gonna happen.
Definitely daddy's girl, 100%. Kids probably take on what their parents are interested in. She's been playing sports since 4, 5, 6 years old.
Aaliyah Allen's world has long been surrounded by sports.
I like winning, but I also like being I feel like I have 4 different families, because I have my immediate family, but then I have my volleyball family and my basketball family and my softball family.
When you're the catcher, you're kind of the leader of the team, and you go out and you control the dynamic and you control the pace of the game.
But just 2 seasons ago, the Mustangs found themselves without their always reliable catcher on the eve of the regional tournament.
911, where's your emergency?
So we were trying to do a drift, but I was going too fast, and I flipped the driver's side over. My friend, her arm is bleeding.
I don't know how to explain where I'm at. My arm is broken. I can't feel it. I don't know how to, I don't have service to call my dad or anybody. I don't know what to do. It doesn't hurt yet because I can't feel it, but my bone is sticking out of my arm.
Okay.
I started to panic a little bit and I freaked myself out.
I personally did not see her till it was probably 20 minutes or so after the accident. We're camping and we're in a spot that we don't have service. Luckily where they were, she had a bar service. She's trying to get a hold of us, trying to call us, and the calls aren't going through, so we have no idea what's going on. My best friend, Monty, goes up, checks on them, just, make sure they're okay where they're at, finds them, realizes she needs more help than what he can do himself. We're blessed to have the right people and the right spots at the right times. And we had a EMT and a nurse at our camp with us.
So I ran over, I'm like, what's going on? And he just kept yelling, her arm's broke, her arm is broken. I'm like, who? Like, where? What's going on? And he's like, Aaliyah. And I'm like, well, take me to her. Like, take me to her.
When I first saw her, I had to walk away. All you see is the bone through the sweatshirt. And took me,
all I saw was blood. And I knew at that point I couldn't be Aunt anymore. I had to be an EMT. So I remember I took off my shirt and I tied it as hard as I could to stop the bleeding. And I just remember I was holding her and she looked at me and she said, am I gonna die?
Felt like I had a feeling that, like something bad was gonna happen. And that's like kind of when the thought that I got into my head that I might lose my arm or pass away or something, I don't know.
I said, no, you're not gonna die, but we need to get you to the ER as fast as we can.
Aaliyah was rushed to Pershing General Hospital, where she was then put on a care flight to Renown in Reno and immediately taken into surgery.
I got there literally as they were wheeling her out of her room. Said that the break was in a really bad spot and they were worried about nerves and stuff like that. We sat out in the waiting room probably till 2 or 3 in the morning. They had her for quite a while. And came out and told us they thought they had saved the arm.
And when Aaliyah woke up, she had one thing on her mind.
She popped up like the Undertaker, like out of nowhere. And she's like, did we win? And I was like, relax, we haven't played yet.
She's in here with an arm that's broken and going through probably the worst time that she will ever experience in her whole entire life. And she's worried about whether or not her team won. Like, not only is that a warrior for her sake, but what a teammate.
Without their catcher, the Mustangs won their first game of the tournament.
She's like, why don't you go to the games? And I'm like, I'm not leaving. I'll be in the, if I'm not in here, I'll be out here waiting. And she's like, there's no energy. That's something you bring to the team. She's like, I understand why I'm not there. Why aren't you? And so it was like, what do I say to that?
When Jason came to the second game, then I think the girls all had kind of a sigh of relief. Like, okay, if he's here, we know she's okay.
But now came the long road to recovery. After removing most of her bicep muscle, doctors didn't expect Aaliyah to regain normal mobility for up to 6 months, threatening her junior sports seasons.
They were concerned that softball was going to be an issue, throwing and stuff like that. She's devastated with that part of it. We're happy. We feel blessed that nothing worse happened than it was, and she got out of there with the injury she did.
At first, it was hard, with doing my physical therapy here and stuff, because it was very clear things were going to be harder to do, and I was struggling a little bit. But I was very hopeful that I was determined that I was going to get back, because I knew I wanted to play volleyball that same year.
Just 4 months after her accident, Aaliyah was back. From there, she became a left-handed shooter in basketball and worked her way back behind the plate, returning to softball in the spring. And on the 1-year anniversary of that devastating day, Pershing County claimed a regional championship.
That morning I was definitely feeling a lot of emotions. Happy and upset, obviously, because it was a setback, but happy that I am where I was. A year ago today, I almost died. It was this is how far I've come, and we won a zone championship.
Is there anything you would have changed?
She wouldn't have been camping with me. Would have been a little more tight, knowing what was at stake the next day, even on what she was doing. But honestly, to see her bounce back and kind of persevere through it all and come out as good or better, knowing everything now and how she's pulled through it and the type of person she is and the way she appreciates life more now, this is definitely turned into a positive as well.
Now in her senior year, Aaliyah helped lead her team to a regional title in basketball and was named first team All-State. Nearly 2 years since that life-changing ride, her epic comeback story continues on.
I think I'm content with like everything happens for a reason, and I think it builds character, helps me like almost like work harder. So I am very content with what happens.
It is my pleasure to present to you the graduating class of Bishop Manogue Catholic High School 2025.
Football has always been in Drew Bradison's life.
If you asked me a year ago, I would 100% say I'm going D2 or JUCO for football, just because it's what I love doing. I loved playing the sport.
Growing up, he learned to value the time he got with his dad, Mike, who lived the busy life of a college coach.
He would always be leaving for recruiting trips, or he'd always be busy during football season. But when he came home is one of the time we were super close together. We'd always watch football, we'd play mini football games, we'd go out boating. We were super close, and breaking that off at 13 years old, it's not something that's easy.
In 2019, after a 3-year battle with pancreatic cancer, Mike died. As the region mourned the loss of a beloved coach, April Bradison was suddenly a single parent, and Drew had to deal with the death of his dad.
What hurts me the most about it is that when he did pass away, it was at an age where Drew was starting to understand what his job was and how cool his job was and how great his dad was. We had numerous conversations of it didn't define who Drew is, and it was a part of Drew's story, but not his story.
Mike was a star football player himself, a member of Boise State's only national championship team in 1980, before a successful coaching career that included 13 years at Nevada and 14 at UNLV. Given those family roots, the younger Bradison envisioned a future in football.
It just was kind of the end goal, because I mean, football was everything at this household, so it was just kind of the end goal.
But after a conversation with his track coach, Rob Spidabalski, Drew's future would divert and diverge with his dad's past.
My head coach at the time and I had a conversation with April and Drew that if he wants to hit the times that he needs to hit, he's got to come out for cross country. And he's got to give up his love of the game.
I sat down, thought hard about it, and decided to end up quitting football, run cross country senior season. And I mean, it's probably the best decision I could have made.
Now a Bishop Manogue graduate, Drew will attend his father's alma mater and run track for the Broncos.
Drew Bradison.
It's just super special to run where my dad played football, and it's definitely a full circle moment for me.
While he's technically an only child, Drew grew up with a band of brothers, his family expanding after Mike's former players rallied around him and April in honor of the one they called Coach Brad.
He loved his football players as if they were his own kids. We always had players at the house. They would play baseball with Drew in the yard. They would play basketball with Drew in the yard. We always had a house full of football players.
And those in northern Nevada have stepped up for Drew as he dealt with his dad's loss.
It's kind of heartbreaking because I wish his real father was here. My parents passed away real early, so, sorry. And I get it. I get losing a parent early on, and I wish Mike was here.
After years of being beside legendary Nevada coach Chris Ault, Mike passed knowing his wife and son would be taken care of.
She's part of the Ault family, whether she likes it or not. And Drew, we were just very proud of him, how he grew up. And, you know, I mean, it was a unique, Mike was taken way too early, you know. And so, you know, April really has done a wonderful job, and he's a terrific young man.
Mike's legacy will live on in Drew while April makes sure his only son understands how loved his father was and how loved he is.
One of the most special things that happened were the letters, the handwritten letters that we received from players after he passed away that I've saved for Drew, but the letters were about what an influence Mike had on their lives. I think all of those are special, that people would actually take the time to sit down and write that letter for us. I saved all of those.
There's an obligation when you're a part of this community to support other people in this community.
Come on, Daddy, let's do it.
Well, cops, I mean, these are people whose family members died in the line of duty serving us. And so anything that we can do in a small way to give back and acknowledge that sacrifice and that service, I feel like that's an obligation that we have. And I want to make sure that I set that example for our student athletes. And I know that that's a core value for the University of Nevada as well. So it's a fun way to do it.
You're gonna hit some bombs, boys. I am first base coach, associate head coach, and head strength and conditioning. That was cool. It'd be a scary sight if you were being chased and that dropped down behind you. Stay on first, stay on first. There you go, kid. I think it just rings.
Oh, nice. Warm up Minter. Hey, warm up Minter. All right, get Minter going.
Look, Big Austin mic'd up. It's Drew Watts here. Drew Linebackers here. I'm disappointed with my team right now. We look unathletic right now.
Make your play. Make your play. He did not make his play. He did not make his play, and we needed him to there.
Oh my God. Oh no. I need more out of you. Get her head, Tom.
I'm not sure. Seems like we're scared.
You need a hustle player out there, Coach.
Coach, I'm here for the effort. You need it. Wait, hey, let me be catcher. Let me be catcher. Huh? Dude, I've never played anything. I've never played organized baseball in my life. And it didn't end up working out for me. And that'll be my one for the day. Coach is going to be real mad at me.
Yeah, call the bullpen. We might need another one.
Yeah, Donnie! Yeah! The boys smell blood in the water.
They told me to hit a ground ball. I'm like, all right, I'm trying to hit a ground ball. I swing, I hit the ball, and it went in the air. I was like, a little fly ball. And he's just having to drop it. Won again, so.
Oh, boy, Naki!
Nice ball.
Silly, coach.
Plain silly, coach. I am mic'd up for NSN, so let's try and watch our mouth, because I'm going to for sure, okay? Help me out. It's open, let's just take it right now. Shoot. Okay. Brandon did it yesterday. We've had the quarterbacks, Logan's done it, Phillip's done it. When we have teams that blitz on us, we can hit the crosser right now. Tell them, you know what was gonna be the goal if we had one state or not one state? Well, let's say we hadn't one state. It was gonna come win state this year. So goal isn't really, it's no different. We wanna win goal, we wanna win state again.
It's lots of motivation for this year, you know. I feel like we can go back to back.
From freshman to senior year, they've always felt like a family. That's just how it is here at Minogue.
Nobody's standing next to me anymore.
We don't want to be near you.
Nikki, nobody's standing next to me now because of you.
He's a great guy, better coach. He always wants the best for us, and it's great to know that he doesn't just care about you as a football player, he cares about you as a person. And so he's a guy that you want to work for. He's a guy that you want to do well for because he wants the best for you.
What do you listen to?
I listen to a lot of Sinatra.
You like Frank?
You can walk, you don't need to run on this. Outside linebacker went under here. Yes, you got exactly what you want for the measure coming across.
All the coaches have really helped us. They try to keep our intensity up and our attention to detail really high. Our games that are out of the season, our preseason games down in California, I feel like those are really important ones for the team, but also definitely Spanish Springs and Reed.
Let's go. So just take it right now and put it on them, okay?
from last year winning state and all that hard work we did, it's carrying over this year. I could tell everyone's working hard every day. Everyone's getting into that rhythm, attention to detail. We're just working.
I kind of have this anxiety and pressure that I put on myself every year for the last 30 years. So actually it feels the exact same as it's felt for 30 straight years. Holy, nice ball. Hey, team! Team, guys, team!
The Reno Aces are set at catcher, with Adrian Del Castillo and Jose Herrera teaming up to be one of the team's best tandems in AAA. The younger Del Castillo working his way up to the biggest little city, now a top 30 prospect for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I went to Puerto Rico this offseason, played winter ball. Just more reps, I think, helped me. Getting a little stronger, too, in the offseason as well. Obviously, every year I try to get a little stronger.
The University of Miami product proving to be one of the team's most productive hitters, leading the Aces in hits, runs, and doubles. The 24-year-old's 2024 surge coming 3 years after Arizona drafted him 67th overall. His love for the position starting as a kid.
Not as a kid, I liked catching, so kind of did it to myself. But I mean, I like it. It's fun. You're always in the game. You're in charge of the game. You're calling pitches, and you got to manage your own, your game and your staff and all that stuff. So it's fun.
With Del Castillo choosing to don the tools of ignorance as a kid, Herrera's route to the backstop is different. The Venezuela native switching positions at age 15, a year before signing with the Diamondbacks for over $1 million, one of Arizona's highest paid international signings.
I was a shortstop, and I was about to be signed with the New York Mets as a shortstop. But my agent by that time saw something that we could get more money or better signing bonus as a catcher, and he mentioned it to me, and I never caught before, and but I never regret.
Over a decade later, Herrera has 90 games of major league experience, including being a part of Arizona's 2023 run to the World Series.
I'm always thankful what God brings to my life, and that was something that I took it like, okay, let's do it. Yeah, I want to try, and at the beginning I didn't know anything about catching. I was just throwing down the second base and hit the balls doing tryouts. But when we start get going and get comfortable with the position and my arms start getting red by blocking the balls, and I start enjoyable, and now here I am, 11 years after.
Cut, swing and a miss. Snap, throw to first, they got him.
From behind the plate, the catcher sees all, but also has to manage the defense with each pitch.
Being a catcher is kind of like you have the leadership inside of you, but you have to translate it to your teammates. If you want them to play hard for you, you have to play hard for them, and that's my mentality every time that I take the field.
Off the field, the two take pride in being the bridge to promoting growth and positivity for their team. Herrera and Del Castillo learning from one another as they manage the pitchers and the game.
Super positive guy. Honestly, great on and off the field. Like, he's helped me a lot, mentally, physically, and all that stuff, even training. So he's been a really good person to have next to me.
We work hard together with the pitchers, try to get them in the right mindset and the right activities through the season. It's a long season, and we know we're gonna have a lot of ups and downs, but just stay focused.
For Aces All In, I'm Nikki Pica. Like millions of kids, Tommy Henry aspired to be a major leaguer, but he didn't plan to pitch.
I definitely had dreams of being the first left-handed shortstop in the big leagues. I wrote a paper in 5th or 6th grade on why baseball should play half the innings going how we play it now, and then half the innings where we run to third base like first base, so that we need left-handed infielders.
Though innovative, Henry's unlikely scenario would eventually lead him into the outfield, and then onto the bump where the Michigan native southpaw landed him with his favorite childhood program.
I knew that Michigan was my dream school. I wanted the academics, and there was just nowhere else I could picture myself. It was far enough from home where I had a little bit of separation and college experience, but close enough where If I needed to, I could drive home.
After a run to the College World Series, Henry was drafted by Arizona 74th overall in 2019. Just 3 years later, he got the call up to pitch for the Diamondbacks on the road against the Guardians.
Swing and a miss, and Tommy Henry has his first major league strikeout.
Normally a peak moment in a pro ball player's career, Henry happened to already be in Cleveland, celebrating his brother-in-law's life after he died in a tragic car accident.
It was such a weird mix of emotions because I'm here dealing with like a lot of emotions myself, a lot of emotions for my family. It's a loss that I think still affects all of us to this day. And then, you know, like arguably the best news of your life.
Henry kept the phone call to himself until after the ceremony. Then he whispered the news to his family.
I didn't want anyone else to have to like deal with this weird mix of emotions.
Do you sometimes wish it was on a different day? Maybe a day before or a day after?
I mean, yes and no. Like, it's a little bit weird that it happened that way. But no, because it didn't take me away from the moment of where I wanted to be for Cooper, for my family. And, you know, at the end of the day, I believe all that's, you know, God's timing. And so he had his hand in that and planned it to go exactly that way.
Now with 35 major league appearances, in 2024, Henry has split time with Reno and Arizona.
He could grind it out. And I like that in pitchers when they're able to grind it out, knowing that maybe something's not going right, but being able to go through 5. It may not be pretty, but you get through 5 and, you know, at least try to keep your team in the game. And that was one thing I noticed. He was able to give you up until the last drop.
Baseball throws a lot at you. You know, there's a lot of success, there's a lot of failure, there's a lot of times where you can feel alone or lost and not really sure why things are going the way they are. And so I think all of that offers a chance for growth and for perspective changes and to really learn about yourself, to learn about life, all through what baseball offers you.
In the unstable world of professional baseball, Henry and his fiancée Bree find daily peace through their adopted dog Graham, who often spends time at Greater Nevada Field.
He totally does that for me. You know, if I give up 11 runs or if I give up 0, like it's the same greeting at the door, whether we win or lose. And, you know, I think over the course of a long season where there's a lot of ups and downs, that stability is really nice to have. It's fun. And he's always there for you and offers you a different perspective.
For Aces All In, I'm Nikki Pica, Nevada Sportsnet.
I tell people all the time, man, I'm not a glass half full or glass half empty person. I'm just glad that I have a glass. My name is Hunter Pinky. I'm originally from Wishick, North Dakota. Graduated from the University of North Dakota in 2021 and am now a Master of Architecture student here at the University of Arizona. So I was an undergrad student at the University of North Dakota. That's where I'm from. I'm a North Dakota kid. I'm a Class B kid. North Dakota people know what that means, but really what it means is I'm a small town kid. I came from a town of 1,000. I had 18 in my graduating class. And so playing Division I football for my home state, that was a really big honor for me. So I always thought I was going to be a basketball player. My grandpa is my biggest role model. He's still, to this day, probably my best friend. And so I just wanted to be like him growing up. I wanted to play basketball. And so I set my mind to it. 5th grade, I made the decision that I was going to play Division I basketball. And so going into my senior year, I was the number 2 rated player in the state, getting recruited by all the Division I schools in the area. And my best friend at the time, Zach Kavalbog, he was the point guard on my AAU basketball team. He passed away in a car accident, June 23rd, 2015. And from that moment on, I just didn't want to play basketball anymore. If I was going to play basketball, I wanted to play with Zach, and Zach wasn't there anymore, so I didn't want to play. And so I hung up my shoes and picked up some cleats and decided to play college football instead. I went on a ski trip after our season concluded in 2019, and that's where everything changed.
I knew something bad had happened because Hunter had just called me
before the first run of the day, he had FaceTimed me, and then like 45 minutes later, Tracy Wanzik was calling me, so I just knew that at that moment something was going to change.
I was in a ski accident that left me paralyzed from the chest down. I'm a complete spinal cord injury, which means that I have no feeling or function below my injury level, which is at T4. So now I am here at the University of Arizona, pursuing a master's degree and also doing some adaptive athletics.
When you meet Hunter, you probably would think he's been in a wheelchair all his life. It's almost like it's nothing new for him, because he's just so, whenever you see Hunter, there's always going to be a smile on his face.
It's just really full circle that the sport that he started with as a 4-year-old is something he still gets to do now at age 25 in a chair.
I was on a skiing trip with one of my football buddies. If I wouldn't have played football, I wouldn't have met him, I wouldn't have been on that ski trip, I wouldn't have been there in the first place, but at the same time, you know, you go head first into the tree, and my football instinct to tuck my head, lower my shoulder, put my neck at the exact right angle so that the stress transferred through my neck and broke my middle back. So it's like I was meant to be in that moment, and that for me is kind of reassuring that like there's a purpose behind it. You know, like I can handle being in a wheelchair. It's not that big of a deal to me. Like something new, new challenges. But like, what if it's not about me? What if it's like me being in this wheelchair has an effect on this person, and that person has an effect, and then the chain, it just keeps rolling of what if it's not all about me? And so if you can kind of grasp that, and I think I have, then the situation becomes a lot easier to deal with. Questions that I still think about is like, will I ever get the chance to go down on one knee? You know, like, will I ever get the chance to walk my daughter down the aisle? Am I gonna have a daughter? You know, like, those are questions that I'm like, oh man, I don't know the answer to. And that's where you kind of have to fall back on, you know, faith and more of living the moment, I think, because you start worrying about that stuff, and that's a slippery slope. So I guess if I were to tell people one thing about life that I think I've been able to experience is that you're still here. And people are like, well, I don't want to be here. You know, I don't want to live. I got nothing to live for. You're wrong. You do. You just haven't found it yet.